Hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Sit down, make yourself comfy. I'll put on a pot of coffee. On this channel, I want to share with you my daily life as a person who's revisiting a decades-old dream of making a living through art, of doing something that I love each day and sharing with the world a little piece of me. If you want, you can follow along on my journey as I jump back into the art world. Many of the creators I watch and love have huge followings, established brands, and a shop that allows them to make pack with me videos of hundreds of orders. I'm not one of those creators, not yet. Instead, I want to share my journey with you as it unfolds here on YouTube. I intend to show my progress, all the experimentation, trial and error, failures, and hopefully successes that come along with starting from zero. I'm hoping that for anyone else out there who has a dream they want to make a reality, whether you've already started or it's still taking up space in those little parts of your mind, that my videos can provide a sense of camaraderie. So here I am, starting. But to get to the present, we have to go back to the past. I'd like you to know me, at least a little. I've loved drawing and creating since I was a little kid. I drew a picture of some horses that's been hanging on my dad's fridge now for 27 years. I guess that's longer than about half of the people who will watch this video have been alive. Hello, fellow kids. I promise, even old folks like me can be relatable, or at least I'll try to be. I made intricate pop-up books with so many little moving layers and parts that looking at them today honestly impresses me a little bit. I made scratch tickets for my dad by writing large amounts of imaginary money on little bits of paper and then coloring over them with a silver crayon. I made him scratch them off with a coin. They were always winners. He played along and would say, "Oh boy, $1 million? I guess I can retire now." This was back when $1 million was still a lot of money. I always wished they were real, and that I could really facilitate that. The happiness for me was in seeing my dad's joy. I got some clay as a birthday gift when I was 8 or 9, and made a pair of theater masks, one happy, one sad, as a gift for my father. I'd seen these somewhere, and if I recall, they were all the rage in decorating in the 80s and 90s, like those porcelain dolls and, those toll-painted country wooden plaques in every shape and size. Basically the vinyl cricket signs of today. I painted them red, blue, and silver. They were quite horrifying. My father hung them in his room proudly. I'm thankful to this day for his grace. I hope they didn't give him too many nightmares, though. They would have done had they been in my own room. At around 10, I had a fish tank with 2 small goldfish. I'd gotten it as a Christmas gift from my aunt, who had also given me 2 fish from her pond in her yard. I loved watching them. I could sit for hours watching their fins flutter in the water. Because I cherished them, I wanted to make their space feel more like a home. I've always loved taking a space and making it into something comforting and beautiful, a hobby which sits near the top of my list even to this day. I gathered some seashells from the shore nearby and painted them with that same red, blue, and silver paint. I was so proud of the good deed I was doing. I carefully reached my arm into the tank and placed the shells neatly at the bottom. I watched the fish continue to swim. Did they notice the gift I'd given them? I hoped they were pleased. I went off to Girl Scouts and did my other childhood events of the day. The next morning, I returned to the tank, ready to feed my little orange children. I discovered, to my horror, that the paint from the shells had seeped into the water and killed my fish. I was devastated. I gave them a funeral in a necklace box in my backyard. I still remember where their grave is, although over the years and through the winters, it's become unmarked. I have to say, I still feel sort of guilty to this day. I'm so sorry, Goldie and Flipper. You deserved better. Time passed. I became a teenager. My love for art and now music flourished. I played in a band made up of members from several generations and from all around my end of the province. 2 of the members were from a few towns over. One of the members had a daughter in my grade. That's how it is in a small town. You find like-minded people where you can. Although I'd started playing music with fiddle and guitar, I switched to bass to fill in the empty spot in the band. Thankfully, as a bassist, not too many eyes were on me, and any mistakes that I made weren't immediately audible, so that's probably what gave me the courage to try. However, there'd been very little that interested me in high school, and my lack of attendance was a testament to that. It was a very small high school in a very small town, and we didn't get the fun classes that kids growing up in a bigger city got, just the basics. I did love English and political science, so I tried my best to attend those. However, I had an overwhelming fear of being in the spotlight, and with my undiagnosed ADHD, was often late and unprepared, even for subjects I enjoyed. This kept me from wanting to participate at all. I became the invisible girl. The thought of opening a classroom door, having the whole class notice and turn around to look at me, and having the teacher stop talking, or worse, make a comment like, "So glad you could join us," was enough for me to turn around and walk back home if the bell rang before I was inside those halls. In grade 11, absence percentages were being added to our report cards. I swear to this day that it was likely because of myself and a few of my friends that the establishment decided this needed highlighting. My score was 69% absenteeism. My friend Josh beat me by 3%. His score was 72. Don't misunderstand. Looking back, I do regret that I didn't try to get a little bit more out of my classes, and also to push past that crippling social anxiety that kept me from participating. I was too afraid of being seen. I'd started to feel somewhere inside that there was something innately wrong with me, and that if people noticed me, they'd see it too. Better not to be seen at all, was the conclusion I had come to, I think, without even realizing it consciously. My English teacher, Mr. McKay, was a wonderful, open-minded and creative guy himself. I think he saw some level of charisma in me that I didn't. When he did manage to get me to talk, I had more to say than I thought I did. One time, I argued that we shouldn't need to read our stories out loud in front of the class, as we'd be better and more genuine writers if we were writing for ourselves rather than for a possibly unimpressed audience of our teenage peers. He agreed and made it optional for bonus points. I was pleased and a little bit shocked that someone had listened to me and even considered my opinion. I felt that hadn't really happened often in my teenage years. Looking back now, it's likely because I really didn't give them a chance to get to know me or hear those opinions. But I digress. He told me during my 12th year that he was sure he'd see me on TV one day. A compliment that confused me a little at the time given my propensity to hide most parts of myself, but that I haven't forgotten. And a prophecy that I can perhaps make mostly true through this YouTube channel. When I finished high school, I decided that I wanted to go to art school. It all got a little bit crazy from there. In the next video, I'll pick up where I left off here and tell you all about the winding road that's led me to where I am now. It's about as far from a linear journey as you can get, but I'm thankful for the vast range of life experiences, good and bad, that's happened to me along the way. And since nothing ever goes exactly according to plan, I'm hoping that whoever's watching this can find some sort of comfort and solidarity in it. So, yes, as I said at the beginning of the video, on this channel, I want to share with you my daily life as a person who's revisiting a decades-old dream of making a living through art. The questions still hang in the air. What am I really good at? Is what I'm good at good enough? What can I make that others will find value or joy in? What will people enjoy that I can provide without running out of steam or becoming bored, or worse, boring? Can I keep those things fresh? Will I ever be in a position where I can make a living from them? Will anyone even care at all? The list goes on. But despite my worries or doubts, I've decided to do this, and to keep record of it, both for myself and for anyone who's on a similar path or just interested in watching. It won't always be long, rambling stories recounting childhood memories. I plan to document my art process, both successes and failures, the steps I'm taking to create a small art business, and just the things I do on an average day. I won't be the invisible girl I once was, afraid to participate at all. So, I'd like to invite you, whoever you are, to join me and come along for the ride. Tell me about your own story in the comments, if you'd like. It'd be really great to make a few friends and have a community here. And just as I'd like you to know me, I'd like to know you as well. So, if you're comfortable, share, and maybe we can lift each other up and cheer each other on in our individual but now kindred journeys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!